If IELTS listening scares you, and if you don't know how to prepare or you have been practicing but still not improving, then this video is exactly what you need. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to overcome your fear of IELTS listening and become confident enough to start practicing in the right directions. Now, here is the truth. Listening is actually the easiest module in IELTS because it's a receptive skill where you just have to listen to native English speakers in real life situations and understand what they are saying. Simple, isn't it? But most students still struggle. Why? Because they don't follow the right strategies. Well, as a matter of fact, to master IELTS listening, you just need 3 things. Number 1, a habit of listening to native English speakers in different situations. Number 2, a clear understanding of the test pattern. And number 3, the right strategies with consistent practice. And in this video lecture, I'll guide you through all of them step by step. Okay, so firstly, we will go through the test pattern to understand how actually the IELTS listening test looks like and what are some of the parts. Actually, there are 4 parts in IELTS listening test, and in each part there are 10 questions, and total there are 40 questions in total. Each question carries 1 mark, and they are total 40 marks, which are then converted into 9 bands, meaning 40 marks are equivalent to 9 bands. If you obtain 40, it means you can obtain 9 bands. That will be equivalent to 9 bands. 30 minutes audio is played once only. An audio containing different conversations of native English speakers is played once only, but there are some built-in pauses. You cannot pause the audio because it is controlled by the examiners and invigilators over there, but there are built-in pauses within each section and by the end of each section as well. Like there are 4 parts, so there will be 4 major pauses, but within one section you will see that it is divided into 2 parts with 30 seconds, 25 seconds roughly pauses and breaks, where you can get a chance to go through some of the questions and apply the strategies which we develop in these classes and in this video lecture as well. And there is no negative marking, meaning if your answer is incorrect, you will not be penalized, and you will just lose 1 mark for that wrong answer, but there is no negative marking concept here. If your answer is correct but you have misspelled that word, for example, the word like the correct answer is quiet, but you have written quit and you have missed the last E, then it will be considered wrong. It's quite simple and understandable. Each part contains different types of conversations, starting with the part first, where you will come across with conversation between a company representative and a client, etc., meaning it will be between 2 people, and mostly it is done on phone call. Like you are listening to a conversation done on phone call, and you have to understand and answer the questions related to this particular conversation. Part 2 has 1 speaker who is giving information related to any general topic, which can be like informative topic and or directions to any place or how something is done or things like that. And in part 3, there will be conversation between mostly 2 or more speakers, and most of the times they are related to academics, like students who are discussing their projects, or some of the students plus teachers or professors who are having some academic conversation. And the last part will have only 1 speaker, meaning a monologue, where one speaker will be giving you presentation about any academic topic, and you have to answer the questions which are related to that part. Now, what are the question types and how you are going to approach them? Firstly, the most common question is that of fill in the blanks questions. You must be very much familiar with such type of questions where one word or two words or maximum three words are missing from those blanks, and you just have to listen and pick that word or those words which speakers speak, and you have to write at the same time as you are listening to those words. And how to approach that, what are some of the strategies, this is what we are going to discuss after highlighting and after going through the question types. Number two is table completion, which is similar to that of fill in the blanks type of question, but there are some variations, like here different columns and different rows are given along with subtopics of the major one, where some words related to that particular subtopic or column is missing, and you have to pick while listening. Next one is flowchart. Again, fill in the blanks type of things are here too. And summary completion is almost the same as sentence completion with fill in the blanks. There will be a paragraph with a couple of missing words which you have to listen with the same sequence, and you have to catch those words which are missing here. Well, there are two types of summary completion questions. In one type, you have to pick the word as you listen, and in second type there will be options given, and those options will be the synonyms of those words which you listen from the audio. So here some of the tricks played by the examiner and how to deal with those tricks, this is what we discuss in these classes, and we are going to cover almost every type of question in upcoming videos as well. Next is a short answer question. This is actually interrogative sentence where question is formed using the WH words, like question words, to make the interrogative structure, like where did they find that particular thing from, or why did the researcher explain that particular thing, etc. So questions begin with WH words. Here you have to write the answers as you listen, and the answers will always be the same words as you listen, although the questions explanations can be paraphrased, but when you have to write the words as your answers, these should be the same words as you listen, which I will explain in detail as well. Then comes matching features. Some of the things are given, their benefits are given, and you have to match that which thing is being related to which particular feature or particular information as you listen. Obviously, you will go through all these types of questions one by one, and we will develop strategies to deal with each type of question and how to approach them effectively. By the end of this presentation, we are only going to practice one sample test as well, in which you will get an idea how to deal with these type of questions. Next comes very important question, MCQs. There are two types of MCQs, which obviously we will dive deeper into later on. But MCQs are those questions in which there are 3 or more options are given, and you have to pick one option. This is different from other questions because here you don't have to write any answer by writing any word from the speakers that you hear, but here you have to choose the options which most of the times are paraphrased forms of those words and sentences that you listen. So here things get a little bit complicated for some students, but also easier because you don't have to write anything. You just have to pick any relevant option, and how to deal with that we will discuss that too later on. Now, talking about the strategies that how to approach the IELTS listening overall. Firstly, the audio is played, and the questions, the content will always be different as compared to what you must have practiced during your practice preparation session, like the test which I'm going to practice with you, which will be a preparation, a sample test, but on your exam day you will come across with a totally new test. So what we are actually doing here to develop some strategies that how effectively we can deal with the IELTS listening and how effectively we should approach. So when you get some extra time, obviously at the beginning of the listening test you will get an extra time. The announcer will let you know how much time you have, and during that time what you should do. So here this time should be consumed, should be applied in developing some pre-listening strategies, meaning before even listening to the audio you develop some strategies. And what are those strategies, how to develop, what are some of the points we are going to discuss. Number one is that of understanding the instruction. Each section will have different instruction, different rubric, that what you actually have to do. For example, in fill in the blanks questions you have to choose the words as you listen, you have to write the words, or in MCQ type of questions you have to pick the given options. Like what I said, it is written over here that what you have to do in this section, how many words you can write, and this is very crucial point, that how many words you can write for each question's answer. And mostly the instructions will demand you to write 1 word, 2 words, or maximum 3 words and not more than that. This is how IELTS is designed. There is no concept of writing your answers in complete sentences. There will always be space for writing 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words. So now here is the thing. If your answer is correct but incomplete, then meaning you can write 3 words but you have written 1 word and it does not make complete sense, then it will be considered incomplete and it will not get you any marks. Secondly, if the instruction says that you cannot write more than 1 word but you have written 2 words, even though your answer is correct, like 1 word was correct answer but you have added additional word, then in this way obviously your answer will be considered wrong because you didn't follow the instructions, right? So you have to be quite cautious and careful in dealing with every step of the test, right? Next up, the topic. Understanding the topic is also very crucial in helping you to deal with each question and to predict the answers. This is the part of pre-listening skills. For example, what the topic they are going to discuss, the announcer firstly lets you know, and then you see on the question paper the topic is clearly written most of the times. For example, that is about any employment agency or like child daycare center. So by understanding the topic, the related vocabulary to that topic will be activated in your mind, and you can proceed to the next level, next phase of pre-listening strategies more effectively. So it is quite imperative to understand the topic, and if you overlook the topic, obviously you are going to miss a big chunk of that question section. Then comes predictions. On the basis of your understanding related to the topic, you will predict that what the speakers are going to say, which type of words they are going to speak. Like if it is about child care center, so who should be the speakers? Obviously it can be like the representative of the child care center, and any parents like mom or dad talking about the procedure of child care center. So which type of conversation they are going to have, obviously related to the child safety, related to the time, duration, and pick and drop services, and the finances, like the fee of the child care center, subscription fee, etc. So nothing out of that box will be discussed by these people. So the vocabulary related to that particular domain should be activated in your mind, and it will help you to predict the answer quite effectively, and most of the times your predictions are 100% accurate according to what the speakers are going to say. So in this way, even before listening the audio, you can get closer to the answer, and you just have to wait until it is confirmed by listening what actually they say, and you just write the answers quickly. So in this way things become a little bit easier for you. And predictions are made on the basis of a couple of more factors, like what is the grammatical structure of the missing word. I'll give you example. And then secondly, what is the contextual missing word, like which type of word should suit the context where that word is missing. For example, see this fill in the blanks question sample. The man works in a dash. So grammatically, what is missing here? Firstly, the word indicates that we need name of thing, meaning noun. So we need noun here. Secondly, like noun, there are millions of nouns in the world, like video is noun, like computer is noun, mobile is noun, and classroom is noun, everything. But we have to make it more precise related to the context. In the context, obviously we cannot write mobile phone, we cannot write a table, because it says the man works in a dash. So it can be like in a factory, in a hospital, in a school, in a restaurant, like that, in a park, like that. So we narrow down this huge list of nouns to suit the context. So it can be any of those words or related to that word. You listen and then you confirm that either it was a restaurant or factory or a hospital or library, etc. So your prediction can activate the vocabulary that you might listen, and in this way your half work is done, your half job is done, which is that of catching the question's answers. You have already activated in your mind, and then you just have to confirm while listening. That's it. This is how it works, and this is most effective strategy. And most of the times you can improve at least 1 to 2 bands by applying this strategy. The key is how well and effectively you can apply this strategy, and practice is the key. Next one, things seem a little bit easier and straightforward, but there is an issue, there is a complication. Examiner obviously cannot give you answers straightforwardly. there are some distractors, but distractors are natural words, because in daily routine conversation we say a lot of things, like the representative can ask for confirmation that do you work in a factory. So here a factory word, you listen the factory word and you just write that word, but that might be the wrong answer because you haven't confirmed from the man. Man can deny it. Man, from the tone you can understand. Man says like well, I used to work in a factory, but now I have changed. Recently I joined a library. So the distractor was factory, but this one, what man said, is your answer. So here what we this is what we call distractor. So you have to be quite cautious and careful in deciding your final answer after predicting. All right, good. See the example of distractors, like if the audio script says I was a salesman in a store, but recently I joined a restaurant as a manager. So a store was a distractor because we are talking about where he works at the moment, right now in present. So presently he is manager at restaurant. Now there is one more thing. In whole listening test, if you really want to do well and approach every question effectively, and if you want to become effective listener, then you have to master that one skill, which is actually a sub skill of every module, and examiner uses that frequently. This is called paraphrasing, the most important sub skill in order to do well in every part of your IELTS exam, not only in the IELTS exam but also in every other English related test too. What is paraphrasing and why it is very important? Paraphrasing is actually using different words to say the same thing. So every time you listen to any audio and along with you go through the questions, you read the questions to find their answers, the words will be different. It's like 70 to 80% words will be different, but the message, the meanings will be the same. How? Using synonyms. Like examiner uses synonyms. So if you too use synonyms, you can get closer to the mentality of the examiner and you can catch the answer with much less difficulty. But it's not easy, obviously. You have to practice a little bit. You have to practice again and again so that you can master this skill. And in order to improve your paraphrasing skills, you also need to adopt more synonyms, learn more synonyms, and along with the synonyms, synonym variants are also very, very crucial. What are the synonym variants? Well, obviously when you change the form of the word of the same word, then you get a synonym variant, and that is used in a different sentence structure but to say the same thing. I will explain that in other videos. I will actually make a separate video for synonyms, vocabulary, synonym variants, etc. Next thing is antonym. Examiner also uses antonyms to test how well you can understand these basic and commonly used antonyms, and then he also can change the sentence structure. Now see this example of paraphrasing. For example, on your question paper, it is written that the restrict personal use, obviously it's not a complete sentence, so I've just picked few words from the sentence. So restrict personal use of dash on computers. In your audio, what you listen. The other thing I'd like to do is talk to our technicians and see whether we could somehow limit the access. Now here, limit the access is direct synonym of restrict, restriction, restrict. This is paraphrased by using the words like limit the access to email. So what should be your answer? Guess, then I will reveal. I really don't want to see that resource misused. So this is also indicating that resource is a computer, and the answer should be email, use of email on computer. So they are limiting the access of using email, restricting the use of email. So both are same with paraphrased versions. So email is the answer. Next, paraphrasing in MCQs. As I said earlier that in MCQs the options are paraphrased. How? See this example. The statement, for example, says the student's main concern about using the library would be. So these are the three options, and examiner, the speaker, will include all of them, but two will be just discussed, and some of the times they are negated as well, but one is confirmed, and this is what you have to understand. This is the test of how well you can understand to native English speakers when they speak in their natural way, in their natural tone. For example, see this. The audio script says, well, the library is big enough to incorporate the self-center. So the very first part of the sentence negates the very first option as well. Big enough means the size of the library is not the main concern of the student, because concern means worry. If the size is big enough, then they should not be concerned about the size. So speaker has just negated option A. All right, then but is very important linking word here, signpost word here. Signpost words will give you hint that what is your answer and what is not. So here is the answer revealed. It wouldn't be like a class activity anymore. And then our main worry. Now here is the crucial part. Worry is the synonym of concern, as I said earlier as well. So this should reveal the answer. Would be not being able to go to the teacher for advice. So they are unable to go to the teacher for advice. So advice here is the synonym of help. See, help. This is actually the synonym of advice. Teacher and advice. Obviously they are students, so they get help from teachers. So this is easily the answer to that question, but we will consider the rest of the part of the transcript as well. I'm sure there would be plenty of things to do, but we really need teachers to help. Again, this is confirmed. Teachers to help us choose the best activities. And as far as the option C is concerned, they said that I'm sure there would be plenty of things to do. So things to do is the synonym for material. It means there is no lack of material. Plenty of things is the opposite of lack of material. So obviously this option is also negated. So in this way we have crossed two options, and we are left with one option, which was that of getting help. And it was confirmed when we listened that not being able to go to the teacher for advice. And then again it was confirmed from the next sentence as well, like need teachers to help us. This is how paraphrasing is done. And if you are quite used to listening to native English speakers, then these things cannot be quite confusing for you, and you can do very well in IELTS listening. Now it's time to go through a complete practice test, and we will apply these strategies and attempt a practice test together. Let's begin the test by first of all applying all the pre-listening strategies. Before even starting the audio, we will apply those strategies to understand and to work out which sort of answers might be missing here. so that we can get closer to the mentality of the examiner and we can figure out how to approach each question. Starting with see, this is the part 1 written over here and is divided into 2 sections just like all the other parts. First one is that of from question number 1 to 7. We will go through them, and before going through we will understand what is the topic. So topic here is completing form. That can be about admission form or application form or survey form, whatever. Let's see. Now instructions. Here instructions say no more than 2 words or a number for each answer, meaning for each question you have to write either 1 word or you can write 2 words or 1 number according to the requirement of the question, but not more than that. Now see, some of the detail will be given here which will help you to sort out which sort of answer might be missing in next question. You can also write some of the notes as you hear, as you listen. You can make some notes, you can write here the points, but don't write complete sentences to avoid getting lost somewhere. So the client's detail, the name is given, Andrew Peterson, as an example given. This will also be the part of your audio listening. Now see what is question number 1 here. It says educational qualification, which is degree in dash. So degree in some field, name of field is missing. So we apply grammatical and contextual clue here. Grammatically it is a noun, meaning name of any degree, name of any subject, and contextually it will definitely be like physics, maths, chemistry, medicine, engineering, arts, whatever. So that person will let us know that in which field he has done his degree or doing, etc. Next up is previous job. So here the keyword is previous job. The person Andrew can talk about his ideal job, or he can talk about the job that he is doing right now, but our concern, our main purpose is that of catching the job, the name of the job that he did previously. They can talk about a couple of jobs, they can name some of them, but one will be the answer which justifies that this is his previous job. Next up, hobbies. So here you can see that this is plural. There can be 2 hobbies. Since we cannot write no more than 2 words, we will be very much specific in writing the names of those hobbies. If these are 2 hobbies, he can say, like for example, singing and dancing. You can write 2 words only, so you will omit the word and replace it with comma. That will be dancing, comma, singing. Or he can talk about 1 hobby, name of the hobby, or 2 words to indicate 1 hobby, like he can say singing songs, for example. So here 2 words but 1 hobby. Next, main skills. What are his expertise? What are his main skills? It can be like typing, it can be driving, it can be coding, whatever. He will talk about those, and we will listen and write. Expected salary. $sign is given here, so we need numbers, which can be like 500. He can say $500, $700, $900, $1,000, $1,100, whatever. So numbers will be spoken which he is expecting, where he says that he is willing to work against this much salary, or this is his required salary. So these will be indicators. These words will show that what salary he is looking for. So looking for is also a synonym for expected salary here. Next is can start, then question mark. meaning the representative is asking that when he is available, from which date he can start. So to respond to this type of question, Andrew can say that he can start within a week. So within a week can be the answer, 2 words. Or he can say in 15 days, after 2 weeks, or from coming Monday. So coming Monday will be your answer, 2 words. He can say right away, or he can say after his exams. So after exam can be your answer, 2 words. So let's listen. Next up, other languages, question mark, meaning are there some other languages which he can speak? Here he can talk about names of the languages, like can be Arabic, can be Urdu, can be Persian, Spanish, French, Chinese, German, whatever. So we will hear and confirm from Andrew. Now we are going to play the audio, and let's listen to what they are going to say.
Section 1. You will hear a young student, Andrew, ringing an employment agency inquiring about their services. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7.
So here initially the announcer came, and he said that what is this talk all about, and what are the persons involved, and he also gave us some time to look at question 1 to 7. So this will be automatic pause included here, a built-in pause included in every part of your listening. During this time you can apply these pre-listening strategies which we are developing right now. Bear in mind that it will take some time to develop and speed up. Initially it will take some time.
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, is this the AAA employment agency?
Yes.
Hi, I rang before. My name's Andrew Peterson. I rang you earlier and gave you my personal details.
The student's name is Andrew Peterson, so Peterson has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7.
Hello, is this the AAA employment agency?
Yes.
Hi, I rang before. My name's Andrew Peterson. I rang you earlier and gave you my personal details. If you remember, I'm that student looking for work during the summer holidays.
Oh, sure. Actually, I have your file right here. But we still need to add some further information.
Yeah, that's what they told me, and that's why I'm ringing. What do you need to know?
Well, we have to know your main level of education. It's a degree, I suppose.
Yes, but I'm still doing it in engineering. It's quite interesting. Some of my friends are studying computing though, so I'm interested in that
so
also.
Here he said that some of his friends are doing degrees in computer. He is interested in that as well, but that is a distractor. He is not doing degree in computer. Instead, he is doing degree in engineering. So we write here engineering. Bear in mind that engineering complete word with correct spellings is the name of the degree. If you write engineer, then it will be considered wrong because that is not the name of the degree.
Well, I'll just write in your main degree subject, engineering. We usually have a demand in computing though. Have you worked with computers before?
No, I just do some programming for fun at the university. But I almost got a job as a computer designer once. Actually, the only job I've ever had was as a car salesman, believe it or not.
Well, at least
he said that he did only job which was that of car salesman. So we write here car salesman. See, if you write only salesman, then it will be incomplete. You have to write the complete answer, be specific, just like he said that car salesman. He didn't just say salesman. So your complete answer will be car salesman.
You've had experience dealing with customers. What about hobbies though? Sometimes they can help develop useful skills.
In my free time I don't do much, mostly study. I play chess occasionally at the university chess club. That's right next to the tennis courts, but I'm not interested in that.
Chess helps develop analytical
so
skills.
Here he said sometimes he liked to play chess. So playing chess, play chess, exact same word should be written as answer, or because it's a name, so you can write playing chess as well, which he said next to the tennis courts, in which he is not interested. So tennis was a distractor here. He just mentioned that, but his main hobby is that of playing chess. So you write here, we will write here play chess. Correct spellings.
So I'll put that down. Of course, it's your main skills that employers want to know about. What would you say they are?
Well, I'm in my third year now, studying electrical machines and generating systems, but I'd say electronics is my best skill, much better than, say, my machine skills, which aren't so good actually.
Okay, here he mentioned that he is studying electric machines, but he said that his best skills are electronics. So we choose here main skills, electronics to be his best skills. Best skill here is the synonym for main skill. We write here electronics as his main skills.
Machine skills are in demand, but so too are electronic ones. So we might be able to find you a part-time job in that field. But what sort of money do you expect to get?
Oh, anything really. I'd want the standard payment, let's say. What's normal? 1,000 a month? 1,500?
I'll just put $1,200, okay?
That's fine by me.
When can you start? Say within 2 days?
Easily.
Okay, he said that anything can be acceptable for him. It should be standard payment. It can be 1,000. He said 1,500, but she said she agreed in between 1,000 and 1,500. So finally, she said 1,200, and he agreed with that. So we write here 1,200. Dollar sign is already given.
That's fine by me.
When can you start? Say within 2 days?
Easily. Actually, less. In fact, just give me a ring and I'll be able to start immediately. Although I admit it'll take me a few days to get used to getting up early in the morning.
Okay, here in this question, she asked him when he can start. In 2 days, he said that in fact, immediately he can start. So we write here the word immediately with correct spellings. Immediately.
Okay, that's just about it. Unless you'd like to add anything else which may help with your application?
Not really. I ride a motorbike, but that's unimportant. I'm friendly, but every applicant claims that, right? I can speak another language.
Ah, that might be useful, depending on the language. Is it Chinese? A Chinese speaker would go down well.
Spanish, I'm afraid. You see, I grew up with some friends who came from South America.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Okay, so here they were talking about other languages. So she asked him if he could speak Chinese, but he said no, he can speak Spanish. So Chinese was a distractor, and we have Spanish as our answer. So we write here Spanish.
But I don't think it will help that much, sorry to say.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 8 to 10.
Okay, now by the end of this part of this section of the part, the announcer again came and he gave us some time to look at further questions. So that time can be spent in looking at those questions, and then it will be played. Okay, before moving further from question number 8 to 10, and for playing the audio again, we will go through these questions. So as you can see that these are type of MCQs where you have to choose 3 options. So let's read here. Which 3 qualities do employers most value in their staff? So here keywords are qualities and most value. So they will talk about many requirements, many qualities, but we have to focus on what are the most important, most emphasized qualities that the speaker has mentioned. So they can say that topmost, or they can say that they can use vocabulary like what we look for, or what is the most important thing, most important feature, most important quality or trait in an employee is this or that. They can talk about all of these from A to G. These are like 7 qualities. So out of these 7, 3 will be emphasized, and we have to pick those 3. Now let's play the audio and see what they are going to say.
Well, thanks for your help, and hopefully I'll get a job soon. But can I just ask one more question?
Sure.
What basically are employers looking for when they interview someone?
Many things. Being hardworking, diligent, and focused on your job is good. But surprisingly, it often means you can't see the bigger picture or provide suggestions which help the company move forward. That requires thinking for yourself, outside the box, as they say, and being free of the standard ways of approaching tasks.
Okay, so now she mentioned a couple of things like hardworking, diligence, he should be diligent as well. So these are common things, common traits. Then she emphasized on one quality that they are mostly looking for in an employee is that of thinking for yourself. She said that this person should be able to think outside of the box, meaning the ability to think independently. So here, thinking outside of the box, thinking for yourself, this is how they have paraphrased this option E, thinking, independent thinking. So you will choose this option as your first answer. Then we will resume the audio to hear what they are going to say.
Employers certainly value that.
I guess experience must help, though.
It depends. If it involved a routine job, one which didn't exercise your mind, it might not mean that much at all.
Okay, now he asked about experience, but she said that it depends, and she said that it's not that much important. So she denied saying that experience to be the most valuable trait. So experience is a normal thing, it's a common thing, and sometimes it is not that much required, as she said that it depends. That is why we will not choose the experience to be the most valuable self trait, because keyword is most valuable thing, most value in their staff. All right,
But since companies are basically composed of people, it is important to be able to get along with others. There's no point in hiring someone whom the other employees don't like, right? That just causes problems. In fact, I would say that being friendly and approachable ranks far more highly than your academic qualifications.
okay, so she said that being friendly and approachable ranks far more highly than your academic qualifications, and she also said that ability to get along with others. So these are the qualities of good personality, and these are the qualities which they have paraphrased to say that good quality, good personality, good personality. So we will choose this option to consider as most valuable trait.
Okay, and that's all assessed at the interview, right?
Yes, and your qualifications, experience, and approach to the job, such as whether you can do different things, work overtime, or do long hours, is needed. But those latter qualities are pretty much standard. What may be more important is based on the fact that things inevitably go wrong. Mistakes are made, and someone's got to fix them in a way that creates the least disturbance. People with demonstrated abilities to do this are certainly regarded highly.
I see. That's very interesting.
Okay, the people with the abilities to rectify the mistakes, fix the mistakes, they are valued and they are regarded quite highly. She said that experience is qualification and experience, these are the common traits, but there are some problems and somebody has to fix them. So that's why she emphasized on the quality to fix problems, because there are many problems every now and then in the job, in your company where you are working. So somebody who fixes those problems will be regarded highly. So we will choose option A, problem solving skills or abilities.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now you must have noticed that an answer came and he said that this is the end of section 1, meaning part 1, and then he has given 30 seconds, half minute to go through these answers. We can review these answers that we have chosen or written. We can see some of the spelling mistakes. So in this way we can make sure that all our answers are written correctly before moving towards the next part. Or if you are sure that your answers are correct 100%, then you can move forward to the part 2 and you can start applying pre-listening strategies over there as well. Now moving to part 2, we will play the audio after going through and analyzing these questions. So firstly, these are answer the questions. So these are short answer questions which begin with WH words, as you can see. But before seeing the questions, we will consider the instructions. So instructions here say one word only, meaning your answer should be that of one word. It is very easy because it does not create any confusion. Either you should write one word or two words. So mostly the answers are straightforward. You have to choose one word according to the requirement of the question. So let's go through and analyze these questions. Question number 11 says, what does the center provide first? So here two words are very important: center, provide, and then first. They can say that center provides this or that, and there can be multiple things, but your focus should be that on first thing. So synonyms for provide, it should be like provision, or they can say that they give or they allocate, and then the synonym for first should be like initially or right away, or the most important thing, or before giving you all the other things, before giving you other things, they give you this one particular thing. So before starting, they give you this thing. So this is how they can paraphrase, and they can use some synonyms to indicate that this is the thing that they provide firstly. Next comes, what is important to control? Important, you can use a synonym like vital, necessary, indispensable, inevitable, essential, and then control again can be synonyms like you have to minimize, or you have to be careful. These sort of synonyms can be used. Next, what will be used to assess members' fitness level? So assess here can be the synonym. Assess here is a very important word. The key word here is assess, which can be paraphrased by like saying evaluate, test, or measure. So we have to look for what method do they use to calculate or measure members' fitness level. So you will write here one name of that thing which they use, that technique which they use to evaluate the member's fitness level. Next is, how often is the exercise schedule reviewed? This is schedule. You can also pronounce that as schedule. So these are two different pronunciations. One is British, one is American. You can expect to hear either of the two, and you can also choose either of the two pronunciations in your speaking. So question here, often, how often shows after how many times. You can paraphrase it like how frequently. Their answer could be like after 1 day, or after 1 week, or within every week. Every week they can say, 15 days they can say. So this is how they can paraphrase this question. Next, how many exercise programs are available? How many? You need numbers. There can be 2, 5, 6, 8, whatever. Keyword here is are available. They can talk about the programs which were available in the past, or they are planning to include in the future, but our main concern is that of availability in present. So your focus should be that on catching the number of programs that they offer or they are offering at the moment in present. Now we will play the audio and listen what they are going to say.
Now turn to Section 2. Section 2. You will hear the manager of the fitness centre giving information about the centre to some new customers. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Fit for Life Health Centre, a place which, as the name suggests, is not just for short-term solutions, but rather intends to put you on a sensible and achievable footing for the rest of your life. And that's how we're different. For example, we could immediately put you on a harsh exercise program, expecting you to work out every day, but such a plan would see you quickly lose interest. That's why the initial step is a 1.5 hour consultation in which your lifestyle, current situation and long-term goals are all thoroughly analyzed.
Okay, he said that initial step is that of 1.5 hour consultation. So initial is the synonym for first. So we write here what they provide. Consultation is obviously a thing, name of a thing. So we write here consultation, which they provide initially or right away, and that is the first thing.
Now, an important part of this consultation involves analysing what you eat. There's no point exercising here and losing weight, then putting it all back on later. You will need to show self-control and discipline in your diet, and we'll work on that.
Okay, here he said that you have to show self-control and discipline in your diet. So self-control and discipline, these words indicate that this is the most important thing, to control. So we write here diet, name of thing. So obviously something is controlled, so we write here noun, diet.
Similarly, we'll put you on an exercise regime suitable for your level of fitness. So that will involve a test where we will take you through some activity.
That will involve a test. So this is how they are going to measure your fitness. So they will do test. We write here test.
Then measure your heart rate and blood pressure to determine how fit you are. This will be monitored during every subsequent consultation, along with your exercise schedule, and that occurs monthly and not half-yearly.
So he said schedule that occurs monthly. not half yearly. He denied one option, that not half yearly. Instead he said that occurred. It is meaning this is the synonym for how often. This is the answer to how often it happens. So that occurs monthly. So we write here monthly as answer.
As with many other centres. As to our actual exercise machines and programs, you will have to decide whether it is muscle mass, stamina, or general fitness that you want to develop. Think about which of these three you want to target, and we'll design a specific program for you.
Here he said that think about which of these three, meaning there are three programs available. So we write here 3.
But remember, bulging muscles aren't necessarily suitable for everyone. Sometimes it's better to think in terms of two simple concepts: muscle definition and stamina, or, if you are female, being fit and healthy, in both mind and body.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20.
Now some time is given to look at question number 16 to 20, and this time we will spend on looking at these questions to analyze what we have to do in these questions. Question number 16 will be talked about first. They will tell us that where or which machine, which thing they have to do, where they have to go for developing confidence. We will match with these options. Like if they say, for example, front desk area for developing confidence, we will choose the option D for front desk area from the drop box menu here, like D. Alright, and they will also use synonyms and paraphrasing for what they are saying. Like developing confidence, they can say that to appear more confident, or to build up your confidence level. They can use such type of paraphrasing. So we will listen to these, and during listening you can also make some notes here. You can write what they said, and later on you can match what you have written in notes to those options which are given here. Okay, now we will play the audio, and let's listen to what they are going to talk about.
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now, if you're going to work out at this gym, you'll need to think about your reasons for exercising. So let's consider that in more detail. Muscle mass is certainly popular with the guys, probably seeking to impress the girls. And with muscles comes the confidence to do that, right? Well, for that, you'll need our high-stress weight units. We're pumping.
Okay, now for confidence, he said that with muscles, obviously building muscle is the main purpose of joining the fitness center, and then he emphasized that along with muscles comes the confidence. So for confidence, he said that their weight unit, high stress weight unit, is available in order to build confidence level. So we choose option C for weight units here.
Pumping iron is all the rage. Moving on to other benefits, one of the main ones is beating the tension of life, right? And the longer the exercise is, the greater the rewards in this respect. Thus, playing squash can certainly help, and so can swimming. But what's much better, as every jogger will tell you, is their activity. So we have ample jogging machines, and they're always popular.
Okay, he talked about playing squash as well and swimming, but he said that most important thing that helps in reducing stress is that of jogging. He also said every jogger will tell you about that. Jogger means here the person who does jogging. So we choose here jogging machine if there is any. Jogging machines, option A, we will choose for reducing stress or tension.
They can provide good fitness too, as can the yoga classes. However, again, let's not forget playing squash, which I would say is the optimum way to improve your general well-being.
Optimum way to improve your overall general well-being, and for this purpose he said that let's not forget playing squash to build up your muscles as well. So we choose here playing squash. Let's see which option. Option E for building fitness as well.
Such an active, energetic game, plus the competitive element, drives you forward into high levels of health and fitness. These, of course, are the ultimate purposes of being here, but remember, the centre is full of like-minded people, all of whom are interesting to meet and valuable sources of information. The yoga classes have a pre- and post-meeting session, so you'll certainly meet others there, although they'll all be yoga enthusiasts.
Now he said that the yoga classes have a pre and post meeting sessions. So for meeting others, we will choose yoga studios as yoga classes, he said. So here it is paraphrased as yoga studio. We choose option D.
Which limits the range somewhat. But whether doing yoga, swimming or exercising, everyone showers, right? So those facilities are where you'll hear all sorts of interesting conversations and really get to know people. Not like the front desk area, which is mostly empty as patrons go immediately inside to do their exercise. Of course, the front desk can answer all your questions and has information brochures and such like, but for knowing more about a greater variety of subjects and community concerns, look at the notice board in the yoga studio, where there's a huge array of...
Okay, he said that for your queries, for your questions, and for looking for some of the subjects matters and for information, front desk is the best place where you can look at the notice board. So we will choose the option for front desk area, that is option D.
Papers, leaflets and articles, all for you to read and consider.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now with that, section 2 or part 2 ends, and they have given us some extra time to look at these answers which we have just written. Now we will go to part 3 and let's see which sort of questions are here. Now before playing the audio, let's see. These are MCQs type of questions, the most common type of MCQs where 3 or more 4 options sometimes are given. In this case, there are 3 options, A to C. Let's look at these questions. These are till 21 to 25. Now we will analyze each of them before playing the audio. Number 21 says the position needs someone good at. So position here means the empty post or the available job. Needs someone good at. This job is looking for someone who has these qualities. It can be like computers, dealing with people, or arts. Again, all the 3 options will be included, but most important thing will be emphasized by the speaker, so we have to sort that out in order to get the answer right. Next one, the directors will select someone from the faculty of. They will choose. Select means select is the synonym for choose, so they can also use the word shortlist, which are commonly used words. So you can find out such sort of synonyms or vocabulary used here as synonyms. Someone from the faculty of, so it can be arts, computing, or business. Again, they can include all the 3 options, but one will be your answer. You should be careful in choosing which should be the answer. Question number 23, the position will require the person to. So what are the requirements for the person to do what? To do work long hours, or train others, or do weekend work. They can talk about that, training others is part of the job and everyone can do, but this time we do not need that much, so they are including this option, but they are emphasizing on some other option and they are negating this one. So in this way you can expect that paraphrasing will be done of all these options, and two options will be negated or just discussed, but one will be emphasized as your answer. 24. The position will come with a dash, which benefit like a car or parking space or much better salary. 25. The best aspect of the job is, what is the most fascinating thing about the job? It can be gives more responsibility, comes with a private office, or is a step to higher positions. Now we are going to play the audio and let's listen to what they are going to say about these questions.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear two faculty directors talking about which person in their university to promote. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. 5.
Okay, we've got to decide who to promote to leading education officer.
Someone from the arts faculty, I suppose.
Well, it can be from any faculty, since the position requires more general skills.
Okay, so she said that it can be from arts faculty, but he said that it can be from any faculty. So we can figure out that they are not going to talk about which department that person should belong to, which they are going to promote. So here we can say that these options like arts should be overlooked. It will not be the answer. So we can sense that. Now let's hear further to confirm what is the answer.
Handling personnel, settling disputes and motivating them to focus on the task. It was the last position.
Now here he has confirmed the answer by saying that the position requires more general skills like handling personnel, settling disputes and motivating them. So motivating them, settling disputes and handling personnel. Personnel means here like staff and employees. So we will go with dealing with people. This is the exact synonym of what he said. We choose this option B.
Involved computer knowledge, not this one.
Surely computer knowledge would help. So too would knowledge in the arts.
Sure, it would help, but the key criterion is being able to direct
Again,
the staff
he confirmed
appropriately.
that the key criteria is to direct the staff, and computer skills and art skills, they are helpful, but the most important thing is that of dealing with people and the other colleagues.
So it doesn't matter then from which faculty we select our candidates.
Not really, but I've already looked at those from computing and rejected them all.
Why?
Now they are
They're all
talking
too
about number 22, and he said that from computing he has rejected them all. So this option is negated by the speaker. Now let's listen to what he is going to say.
Lacking in sufficient experience, whereas these ones from the business faculty are long-timers.
So
we'll take someone from there.
There means here he said that from the business faculty are long timers, meaning they have more experience, therefore they will take someone from this faculty. So we will choose here business.
I suppose you're right. The arts faculty doesn't present much in the way of suitable candidates either.
But we'll still have to train the person, teach the ropes as they say, and he or she will have to expect to do overtime
he
as
said
needed.
that they will train the persons. So option B here is a distractor, because this option B is written here for the person whom they are going to promote for this position. So this is not suitable for that person, because they said that they will train the person who is going to be promoted. And then what he said and what is the answer here, he said that the person will have to do overtime as needed. So overtime means here not weekend work but work long hours. So we will choose option A.
Of course, it can get so busy that if we were open on the weekend, they'd have to work then as well.
Just as well we're a Monday to Friday university, right?
Right. But are you sure these people will actually want the job? The salary isn't such an improvement on their current ones.
I know, but there are benefits. You get overtime rates, a nice place to put your car, as well as additional petrol money
he
if you
mentioned
drive.
car for question number 24, extra benefits. He said that there are benefits. You get overtime rates, meaning whatever overtime you spends, whatever overtime you offers, you will also get extra pay, but also a nice place to put your car. So car is a distractor. Instead, they said that they will provide you place for parking car. So we will choose option B, parking space, as he said that a nice place to put your car.
For company purposes, which they'll probably be required to do.
But those benefits are quite limited, especially given all the work and responsibility involved. People often don't like that. They prefer the creative freedom of less senior teaching positions.
Yeah, I know. But these candidates should realise that if they do this job well, there'll be more promotions down the line. You know how everyone likes having their own office, right?
Sure.
Well, that would come after a few years, if they're prepared to work hard and grow with the university.
Yes, that should attract these people.
Okay, for question number 25, he said that these candidates should realize that if they do this job well, there will be more promotions down the line. Meaning more promotions, there are more chances to get promoted. So which option should we choose here? Gives more responsibility, or obviously they didn't talk about responsibility. We negate this option, and then comes with a private office, or is a step to higher positions, meaning there are more promotions on the line. If they continue doing the good work, they will get a chance to have more promotions or higher positions. We will choose this option C here. Now we pause the audio here and let's see what are question number 26 to 30. Complete the table. This is the table completion question. Again, the same sort of as the fill in the blanks questions, where we have to write the answers. Instructions: no more than 2 words or a number, meaning your answer can be of 1 word or maximum 2 words, or only a number according to the requirement. Now let's go through the table. This is about candidates, and then years of experience: Stephen, Abdul, Lek and Oscar. These are 4 candidates that they are talking about. We will begin with the years of experience. Abdul, Lek and Oscar's experiences are given, but Stephen experience of Stephen is missing. So we will hear how many years of experience he has, and we will write number here. Talking about next row, it is qualification. Stephen has done MBA, and what Abdul has done is missing. So his degree, name of his degree is missing here, and we will here to confirm what is the degree Abdul possesses. So we will write here. Next comes possible concerns. Concerns meaning what are their apprehensions, what are their reservations. So they will talk about that. Mr. Abdul said that he has limited English language. What Stephen has, we will write here. So, what are some of his concerns related to Stephen, and then Lek and Oscar. So all the 4 people have concerns. One has revealed that he has limited English, but other 3 will be spoken, and we are going to write them. Now let's play the audio and let's listen what they are going to say about each of these features.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Well, that's enough talk about the job. What about the actual candidates? How many do we have?
I've narrowed it down to 4. Just using their first names, that's Stephen, Abdul, Lek and Oscar. As you said, there's quite a bit of experience between them, about 34 years in all.
What's the exact breakdown of figures?
Abdul and Stephen both have 7 years. Lek has 1 more.
Abdul and Stephen have 7 years, she said. Both have 7 years. So Abdul 7 years is written. We need to write 7 here. You can either write numbers or words. 7. We write 7, or you can choose 7 years as well. So we just write 7 as in all these 3 columns. Single digits, single numbers are given.
And Oscar is the most experienced at 12.
But who's the most qualified?
Stephen and Abdul have an MBA. Oh, sorry, Abdul's got something called a MBP.
Okay, firstly he said that Stephen and Abdul both have MBA, but then she said sorry, Mr. Abdul has MBP. So we write here MBP. See, that was a distractor, MBA, as she said both, but then she rectified herself. She corrected herself by saying
Some
MBP.
foreign thing which translates as Master of Business Practice.
I'm not sure what that is, but does he do the job well?
Very well, apparently. Better than Lek and Oscar, who hold a degree and some certificates respectively. But we have to think about any drawbacks. You know, possible issues with any of them. I asked the respective deans for feedback, and I found out that Stephen, the younger one, drinks a bit.
So he has a problem with alcohol?
No, he never drinks to excess, but at the bar he's often expressed his intention of moving on, of teaching abroad.
Ah, he's not stable.
Not stable at all, apparently. We'll never know for how long he'll hold the job.
Both of them said that he is not stable because he is moving on and he likes to teach abroad. That's why he does not stay in one place, and they concluded that he is not stable. So this is the problem with Stephen.
We need stable personnel, and people without family problems or sick relatives like the last guy we promoted. What about Abdul then? Will he do?
He might do, except his English language ability is limited. It's functional, but a bit broken, and meaning is sometimes lost. That's not the problem with the next candidate, Lek, who has good language ability, but this job involves handling people, and his dean says Lek's attitude is bad.
About Lek, they said that this job involves handling people, but according to his dean, he's said that Lek has attitude problem. So we write here bad attitude or attitude problem. Two words, no more than 2 words. So we write here attitude problem, the same words spoken by these people.
His manners are okay, and he's interested in his job, but he believes there should always be adequate leisure in life. He definitely won't work overtime and complains a lot already about his job. But this last candidate, Oscar, is probably not the right one either.
Why not? Not another problem with language.
His first language isn't English, but he speaks it well enough. He's stable with a good attitude, but his age is the problem.
Age is not a problem. That would be ageism, and I don't believe in that.
But with his age comes health problems as well, and serious ones.
She highlighted age problem, but the guy said that it is not a problem. Age is not a problem. Then she said that with age comes health problem as well. So health problem are 2 words. We write here health problem is our answer. Let's continue.
Oh, That might be an issue then.
So now it is confirmed by the guy as well that that might be an issue. So issue is the synonym for concern.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Moving on to part 4, this is the final section of IELTS listening, and this contains question from 31 to 40. Let's have a look at this before playing the audio. Question number 31 to 33 are 3 MCQs as you can see on the screen, and then comes a table completion which has question from 34 to 40. Before playing the audio, one by one we will apply pre-listening strategies here to figure out their paraphrasing and to guess which sort of answer can be revealed by the speakers. First up, in question number 31, caves are dash. 3 options are given, often ignored, so we can figure out the synonyms like usually, ignored, can be overlooked, or the speaker can say the otherwise. So there can be like caves are quite charming or fascinating places, so it means that this option is the opposite. This option is not our answer. Then comes mostly in remote areas, which is a sensible thing as well, but that is understandable. They can use some synonyms like caves are normally found in far places or secluded places or away from the city life or urban areas like that. So such type of paraphrasing can be used. Then comes option number C, often difficult to explore. So often, again, normally, usually, difficult, complicated, not easy. Antonym can be used with not, and explore here means to find. Okay, question number 32, people who explore caves are what? It is about the people who like to explore the caves, who like to find about caves. They mostly need to know about cartography. Do they really need to study this field or not? They may talk about that, or they enjoy overcoming the difficulties, meaning they are enthusiastic, they are adventure lovers, they like to face such type of complications and challenges in their lives. So if they have these traits, then this option will be the answer. Or usually know about cave sciences. They are normally very much familiar regarding the information or regarding the ins and outs of caves. So this will be the paraphrasing, same sort of paraphrasing. I'm just giving you my version of paraphrasing in this scenario, but we have to confirm what the speakers are going to say. Obviously they can come up with their own version of paraphrasing, so we have to figure out from their listening. Then comes question number 33, China has dash. China has probably the most undiscovered cave. It can be like probably, might be, or maybe not found or not explored. Undiscovered means not explored caves. Then a growing number of cave explorers, meaning there are more people who want to explore caves. There are more adventure lovers, more adventurers living in China. Or option C, some of the best documented caves, meaning the caves are most fascinating in China, which are found and have been documented, meaning their records are available. Next up, question number 34 to 40. Here again we go through the instruction, no more than 2 words and or a number. Same sort of instruction. Your answer can be of 1 word, 2 words, or a number. It is about 3 main reasons for cave formation. 3 columns are given. Column first is this one, then volcanic lava tubes, and then action waves. Starting with question number 34, mainly involves dash. So involves dash meaning name of something, name of any event or action or any substance. Anything can be missing here to form caves under this category. Then comes question number 35, topmost surface cools down and dash waves and dash hotter lava continue to flow beneath what? So this is equivalent to cools down. Same sort of word can be missing after and is the indicator, and indicates here that the next word should be equivalent in terms of grammatical feature, in terms of grammatical property, should be the same word as cools down after and. Next is action of waves. Waves pound into cliffs, then erode into dash or less rigid rocks, then erode into dash. So here we need their next formation, their next form. Here we need their next form that they become. It can be name of any substance, and just like that of less rigid rocks. These are three words, so similar sort of two words, last two words can be your answer, or single word like less rigid rocks, or it can be liquid. For example, I'm just giving you example. These are caves, so obviously liquid might not be the answer, but similar sort of word. Then comes limestone caves. Limestone caves and then volcanic lava tubes again often have formations made of dash. Made of dash meaning name of something. Carbonate is given, so we are left with the type of carbonate, like sodium carbonate, for example. It can be any such type of substance or such type of chemical that we might need here. Examples are given of carbonate, and one example is missing after and in question number 38. So one more example will be missing here, and we are going to listen and write. Next comes question number 34 under volcanic lava tubes. Again, finally revealed in dash. So something revealed, something came to light, something was explored. In dash, there can be two possible answers, like in means a name of year, we write here number, or we can expect name of place, like finally revealed in Africa, America, whatever, name of any place, or finally revealed in 19th century, 2010, 2005, 1990, whatever, name of the year. Interestingly, formed from the dash. Again, how they, from which thing they was created, from which substance, from which action or event they were formed. So we need to write here name of that particular thing. Alright, so we have gone through all these questions. Now we are going to play the audio, and let's hear what the speaker is going to say.
Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear a lecturer talking about caves. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 33. To 33.
If there is one natural feature which has long fascinated man, it is caves, those natural underground spaces into which people can enter. No known cave in the world can exist without it being extensively explored, whether it be in remote areas, such as the Clearwater Cave in Borneo, or immensely long and difficult, such as Mammoth Cave in America. Or perhaps the most challenging, those caves below the water table, full with water, in which case the exploration is known as cave diving. Whatever the case, if the caves are known, as complex and difficult as they usually are, they will be explored. The formal name for the study of caves is speleology.
She said a lot of things about caves, and we have jotted down some of the keywords. Starting with fascinated, I've just jotted down, and during this time you can write the way you like without taking care of the correct spellings, because you are just writing here for your own understanding, and later on you just match your keywords that you have jotted down with the given options. So starting with, she said fascinating thing or fascinated. People are always fascinated, that sort of thing she said. You can repeat it and listen again. So this is the entirely antonym opposite of the word, like often ignored. Our first option was often ignored. And then comes explored, remote areas. She said that they are either found in remote areas or they are found, they are long and quite difficult to be found, whatever. She just gave more information. She didn't say that they are mostly found in remote areas. So that was additional information. But she emphasized the most on the challenges that people face in exploring, the exploration, and the complex difficulties in exploring them. So that was our answer, meaning they are quite complex and complicated to explore. So we choose option C here, often difficult to explore.
Biology, and involves many disciplines such as chemistry, geology, biology, and cartography, or the science of making accurate maps, since the largest caves can be hundreds of kilometers long and highly complicated. If the exploration is just for fun, the activity is known as caving. But with the difficulties and dangers involved, the average caver is often involved with one of these speleological sciences. As for the number of caves in the world, research suggests that only a fraction have been...
that there are many disciplines, meaning there are many sciences involved in studying the caves. And then she also gave some information that some are very long, like 100 kilometers long as well. And some people like to explore them just for fun, and but they have to face the dangers, meaning the people who explore the caves, they always have to face the dangers, and they should know one of these sciences. Here she emphasized on this point that whoever the explorers are, they should know some sort of information, some sort of knowledge about the caves. So we go with option C here, usually know about cave sciences. She didn't talk about enjoy overcoming the difficulties. She simply said that they enjoy exploring the caves.
Found and documented, mostly in the areas in which caving has long been a popular activity, such as in America, France, or Australia. China, for example, has huge areas of limestone bedrock, prime material for cave formation, and logically must contain among the largest number of caves in the world. Yet only few are documented due to the lack of interest in caving there. Thus, as exploration continues, new caves will be discovered, and it is likely that the numbers could radically change in the future.
Before you hear the rest of the lecture, you have...
So for question number 33, according to the points that I have made here, caves are, this is popular activity in China, and she said that she talked about different countries, and then she emphasized on China, and she said that it contains the largest number of caves, and there are still many caves which are not discovered, and there will be more discoveries in the future, that sort of thing she said. So we go with option, probably the most undiscovered caves in China. So we go with option A.
have some time to look at questions 34 to 40.
Moving on to question number 34 to 40. Let's hear what they are going to say about these.
Now listen and answer questions 34 to 40.
With caves being such mysterious and intriguing places, the obvious question concerns how they form. The most common cause is the effect of slightly acidic water in a process called dissolution. Here, water seeps into the ground and down through rock masses. If this rock is soluble, the water dissolves some of it, and over time, the passage expands to become a cave or cave system. The largest and most common of these involves limestone, although other materials are possible, including gypsum, marble, and even salt. Now, if the cave is formed at the same time as the rock, it is called a primary cave, and the most common of these are lava tubes. When lava from volcanoes flows downhill, the topmost surface cools and solidifies first, leaving the hotter lava to continue to flow beneath. If most of this eventually flows out, a hollow tube is left. The country, Iceland, has some excellent caves of this type, and even far-flung Australia has a few. Finally, there are sea caves, formed from waves pounding into coastal cliffs and eroding into fault lines or softer rock. These caves are usually the shortest, about 50 metres at most, since the erosive action of the waves can only reach a certain distance. However, it is limestone caves which will always be the most interesting. This is due to the presence of limestone formations. As the groundwater seeps downward through the ceiling of the caves, it encounters a different pressure and temperature, causing it to deposit a small amount of its dissolved calcium carbonate. Over time, through the action of millions of drops, this deposition process results in ever-growing masses known as stalactites, if hanging from the ceiling, or stalagmites if growing from the floor. Alternatively, the water may flow over a large surface of rock, forming flowstone, and with other sorts of processes can result in beautiful milky white formations of astonishing complexity. One of the best examples of this, as well as of what surprising discoveries may yet await, is the Lechuguilla Cave in New Mexico. In the 1950s, some cavers heard the sound of wind underneath some large boulders on the cave floor, a clear sign of a deeper passageway. It took until 1984 for a group of cavers to gain permission to start digging, and 2 years later, in 1986, they broke through into a walkable passageway, unlocking one of the longest cave systems in the world, the deepest in America, and some of the most beautiful formations ever found. Unusually, many of these were yellow with sulfur, suggesting that the caves were a result of hydrogen sulfide from nearby oil deposits. This was forced through fracture lines, combining with existing groundwater to form sulfuric acid, dissolving the limestone from the bottom up instead of the normal top-down seepage which characterizes most limestone cave formations.
That is the end of section 4.
Okay, we have jotted down some of the keywords and we have also written their answers. So here are some of the notes that we have written, and according to these notes we have written the answers here. You can play this audio again to find out about these notes that I have just written, and you can match their answers too. Now we will submit this test and let's see how well we have done. It will always ask you for confirmation before submitting, so you just submit and let's see. So here is the result. It's 8 bands, some mistakes I guess. Here spelling mistake, although it was salesman I wrote, then I guess in a hurry it might went wrong in terms of spelling, and then there are 2 wrong options. We can figure out by see some of the spelling mistakes here too. Bad attitude instead of bad in a hurry. I have committed a spelling mistake, 2 spelling mistakes here. S got missed in problem. So instead of problems, I wrote problem. So these are minor mistakes which can cause you to lose valuable band. So you have to be extremely careful and cautious in writing the answers, and you can look at the transcript, audio transcript and explanation of the questions answers here. This is a very good website. I will share the link in the video description below, and you can go here and practice as many tests as you want. I will share a couple of the links for the IELTS material. You can practice wherever you like. Now, as you have understood what the IELTS listening test looks like, how it proceeds, and the best strategies to tackle it, it's time for you to put everything into practice. Watching video and going through how something is done are only 30% of the skill. The 70% is practice. Practice is the key. It will take a little time to get comfortable with the test format. However, once you begin doing it regularly, you will start seeing improvement very quickly. Remember, listening is the module where you can realistically score a band 9 if you use the right strategies and practice consistently. Many students of mine have obtained 9 bands following the techniques that we develop in our classes. But here is the secret most students miss. The high bands achievers don't just practice test questions, but instead they also develop a real habit of listening to native speakers in their daily life. I'd recommend listening to podcasts, watching documentaries, English movies, interviews, plays, or even English songs. Listening to BBC, CNN, or Voice of America. The more you expose yourself to natural English, the sharper your ears become. And the best part, this habit will automatically boost your speaking skills too. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you found it helpful, please give it a huge thumbs up, share it with your study buddies, and subscribe for more IELTS tips. If you have any question, ask me in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Until then, keep listening, keep learning, and keep smiling. Take care and all the best with your IELTS preparations.